Yeah, I asked a couple of the doctors that I spoke to, and they all had different theories about why we might not know that there are memory clinics, and that ideally a memory clinic should be your first stop when you have not just a diagnosis but a suspicion of memory problems. So one of the doctors I spoke to thought that part of it is a sense from family care practitioners, your GP, that memory clinics aren't needed, that they are, we're introducing another level of specialists and therefore another level of cost and another level of bureaucracy into the healthcare system. And so that family doctors can handle and help their patients understand what they're going through. And when you add the organizations that exist out there, like the Alzheimer's societies, there is a belief, this doctor suspected within primary care health providers, that memory clinics aren't necessary. But the point that she made that I found most interesting is that people think the waiting lists are really, really long. And they're not short, but her clinic, for example, it's a 2-month waiting list. So oftentimes if you go to your doctor, you have brought your mother in to see her doctor and you think that her cognition is on decline, your family doctor might think, my God, I don't have 6 months or a year to wait to get you to the next step. Here, I'm going to deal with it instead. Here's some pamphlets I have, go to the Alzheimer's Society, maybe let's try and get you an MRI, in a more fragmented approach, because they've assumed that the help through a memory clinic will take too long. It's not true. Some memory clinics do indeed have wait lists of 2 years. One of the first ones in Canada is in Quebec, and it is very highly regarded and sees, I think, 800 patients a year, but the waiting list is close to two years. But then there are other places, like I said, where 2 months, or within some of the large general hospitals here in Toronto, 3 to 5 months. And if there is an emergency situation, you will be bumped to the top of the list. So awareness, not awareness of for people on the street, but like awareness, other doctors' lack of awareness of this specialized care that existed. And I thought that was very disappointing, but really interesting. And for her, one of the messages to get out was the wait lists are not that long. Call. The onus is definitely on the consumer, and in this case, I mean the patient, to find their information rather than some overseeing agency making sure that all the information goes first to the doctors and then down to the patients. It really is the other way. It sort of starts with the responsibility of patients to find out what's available for them. I think that's upside down. I do think that's backwards, but that's the reality of the healthcare system that we have. And if people know that, they have to be on top of the research, that they now have almost like a part-time job if they have a diagnosis of dementia within their family, that they need to, advocate is kind of an airy-fairy word. It's non-specific, but you need to be reading about this. You need to be researching it. It's as simple as devoting a part of your day every day to monitoring what's out there on the subject of dementia and our healthcare system.